Before this video starts, I'd like to take a moment to honor the memory of Sunken, who we lost on the 20th of September. Sunken was a keystone of the GTA 5 racing community. His continued efforts led us through thick and thin, helped us overcome many droughts, and kept us going for far longer than anyone could have anticipated. Sunken was one of the most welcoming people in this community, and allowed many new players to immediately feel at home upon joining. We will never forget his humor, his contributions, his heartfelt compassion, but most importantly, we will never forget him. Thank you, and may you rest in peace. Welcome to the second round of the MultiClass Monthly Championship. After an incredibly successful first race bringing together more than 100 drivers on track, we can't wait to see what this next round will bring. This first round shone a light on some glaring issues that need to be addressed if we want to keep a competitive environment, so I'll be going over some of the changes round 2 will see. Firstly, we've noticed that some people still seemed very unsure of where they were going early on in the race. To remedy this issue, we'll be increasing the duration of the qualification phase from 10 minutes to 25 minutes. We hope this can also serve as a way to give everyone some time to get to grips with the track, especially for those joining with no practice. Secondly, the track was extremely crowded, to a point where battles in Class 1 were completely inexistent. To remedy this issue, we have sadly decided to impose a limit on how many players will be able to join the main race. It's difficult to find a compromise between fun and competitiveness, but we've landed on a total of 75 participants. This means that only the 75 fastest players of the qualification phase will be able to participate in the main race. The split between classes will be 25 players in GT1, 25 players in GT2, and 25 players in GT3. There may be some exceptions to accommodate possible issues such as disconnects in the middle of qualifying or similar. We still want players who went through the effort of practicing to be able to take part in the main race if such an event were to befall them. I hope you can understand these changes were made in good faith to allow everyone to have a better experience. Now that the formalities are out of the way, let's get to the specifics for this round. First up, the track. We'll be racing on a combination of what are, in my opinion, Young Bright Hope's two best grapeseed tracks. Epicondibula combines the blisteringly fast section of Epicondylus with the challenging twisty sections of Mandibula. Something to note this time is that we'll be racing in the rain for the full duration of the race. I'd like to earnestly thank the 8th Gear admins who worked overtime to bring us the ability to hotlap in any weather as quickly as they could. Thanks to the massive work they've put in, you'll be able to practice for this race in the correct weather. This month, we will be racing with the 3 following cars. In Class 1, we have the Coquette BlackFin. This car may have a lot of grip in normal conditions for a muscle car, but it proves to be a real challenge in the rain. In Class 2, we have the Roosevelt. This car is quite an unconventional pick, but handles like a charm in the rain. Finally, in Class 3, we have the 550 SS. This truck is quite easy to drive, but is also very bulky, so make sure not to get too close to Dave. This time again, when entering the pits, be mindful of players in front of you. They may be on a different strategy than you are and could break for the hairpin. In order to refuel, you must come to a complete stop while inside of the refueling zone. The refueling zone ends at the checkpoint right before rejoining onto the track. Once you stop, wait a split second and your car should start refueling. We recommend stopping as far into the pit lane as you can, looking at the map and moving your camera in a way that lets you see more of the track. When exiting the pits, exercise caution again, as you will be rejoining on a pretty tight hairpin, where people will want to make the most out of the exits. That's it for the specifics, so I'll let you enjoy the showcase laps, starting with the BlackFin.